I'm here on Fulton Street and Nostrand Avenue. At one point, when I was 18 years old, 19 years old, for me, this was the crossroads of life. This was the Champs-Élysées. This was the main drag. This was the Fifth Avenue. This was my world. And I was living this way on St. James and Fulton. And I'd come to New York as a young boy, 18 years of age. But when I was approximately 15 or 16 years old, my father, now one would refer to him as my stepfather, in as much as that he was not my biological father, but he was the man that raised me, took care of me, put a roof over my head, fed me, taught me, disciplined me. But when I reached 16, 17 years old, my aunts and some of my cousins and relatives were telling me, well, he's not your real father. You don't have to do what he says do. And so the more he would tell me the things to do, the more I would resist it. And finally, it came to the point where I actually put up my fist to fight him. Now, he was an older man. When he married my mother, he was 13 years older than her. He took me and my two sisters in as his children. Now, why is this important? It's important because this used to be a chock full of nuts. Now, those from the old school remember chock full of nuts, the heavenly coffee, chock full of nuts, better coffee a millionaire's money can't buy was their slogan. And they had a thing called nut bread. And so I invited my father, who at 18 years old, I realized that I had made a grave mistake by fighting him or seeking to fight him. He just walked away. He had lung problems. He could barely walk 5 steps without stopping to breathe. And he was just in a bad shape. And I put up my fist to fight him. And I said, Pastor, man, you tell all these stories. You've done some awful things. I have. No, I have. And I'm deeply regretful of the things that I did. And I can't begin to tell you how painful it is to have lived through that. But I had enough understanding. Once I got a few dollars in my pocket, I invited my father, Willie Martin Patterson, to come to New York. And when he came to New York, I brought him here to what was then chock full of nuts. There was a side entrance, just this entrance right here. I think there was 2 entrances. Yeah, there was a side entrance. I brought him here.
Yes, God bless you.
God bless you. I brought him here. We sat down, had some coffee and some pound cake, and I told him I was sorry. And I apologized. And he just looked at me and, you know, he called me brother. That's what he called me. He called me brother because I was named after my father, who my mother divorced, and he didn't want to call me my mother's former husband's name, so he just called me brother. He just looked at me, brother. And he got on the bus and went back to North Carolina, and he died. So I thought I would say that. I mean, Fulton Street, obviously, as I was up by Fulton and Schenectady earlier today, telling about my refusal to do drugs, my discipline to not do drugs. And I just remembered chock full of nuts was here 50 years ago. Across the street was Kentucky Fried Chicken. And I don't know what happened, why that store has not been reopened. It's a major corner store. It would appear that there'd be something going on there now. So this corner has a lot of history for me. If you can remember me, if we could just do a visual of an 18-year-old Manning. Try to think about me when I was 18 years old, how skinny I was, and how young I was at 18 years old, going into this place that was blessed as chock full of nuts. I think they still have a couple of chock full of nuts in Staten Island. You can look it up, Google it. It was a very famous, and they still sell chock full of nuts coffee. I thank God for the memories. I thank God that I had this experience up and down Nostrand and Fulton. So now I want to show you something, right? I sat here as an 18-year-old boy, skinny as a rail. This was my world. This was the world for me. This was the joint. I mean, this is where the people was. I was in New York City. But you know, I'm now running to be the mayor of this city, to take this city and to lead it. As an 18-year-old boy, I came here as an 18-year-old. And now I'm on track to actually become the mayor. Let me show you something here. This is one of the vehicles. When I took my father to chock full of nuts, I didn't have a car at the time. I used the subway or the bus. But now this is our church vehicle. This is my running for the mayor of New York City, but that's not all. Let me walk you down the street. Come on, follow me a little bit further, if you will. You come with me. 18 years old. If you can imagine me as an 18-year-old boy. This is our vehicle as well. The 18-year-old boy that called his father from North Carolina to come has now started a school himself and graduating college level students, graduating doctors and lawyers well, at least we got one doctor, but a number of people that have come through our church have become lawyers. So as an 18-year-old skinny boy from North Carolina, my mind was, during those years, my mind was, I don't know where I was. But this is a very important and very powerful time for me. And it's important that I become the mayor of the city of New York, having come here as a migrant from North Carolina. So I wanted to be able to express that. Chock full of nuts is a heavenly coffee. Better coffee millionaires' money can't buy. Chock full of nuts is a heavenly coffee. Better coffee millionaires' money can't buy. Thank y'all for taking the time to listen to me. Thank you for taking the time to understand. I guess when you live as long as I do, you have a lot of history. And I consider it to be very rich. Can I just spiritualize my stepfather, Willie Patterson, walked this sidewalk. He's been dead now 45 years. My stepfather, the two of us, he was my father. The two of us, we walked in this area together, the two of us together. We occupied this space. He's long since gone, and I'm still here. I'm still here. God bless his memory. God bless his memory. Praise the Lord.